Thanks for joining us for CBS19 Plus. And today I'm just going to go more and more on about the heat, because that's what I've been doing the last couple of times I've done this, because it's just been hot. I mean, take a look at this recap of July where all you see is red. And I updated it just so you can see how we've broke this streak that we've been on. You see red all the way over here, and then here comes this streak of blue on Sundays until yesterday when we reached 96. So, and in some places it also reached 92. We are breaking the streak, and it seems like we're only getting hotter and hotter as the summer goes on. Right now, look below me, just right there above normal days, the number we have, 19, and then for below, we've got 4. So it's only gonna get hotter and hotter, especially as we go into the month of August, because that's when the heat does kick up, and we've definitely seen it for the month of July. So I wanted to just show you about this water vapor imagery. And this is one of the tools we use when we're diagnosing what does the air feel like. Is it really dry? Is it really saturated? And due to that, maybe we could diagnose some storms or what the weather pattern looks like. So let's look at our water vapor animation, and you see the orange-ish, that's that drier air. And then where we see the purple and the green, that's typically where we have storms. And I wanted just for you to see this because of the weather pattern that we're in. It's called a blocking high pattern. And all that means is the blocking high, it's staying really stagnant, basically. And that's why we're seeing very high temperatures for this week and even going on into next week. And when I show you the temperature trend, you'll see what I mean by the heat just sticking around. But more importantly, I wanted just to show you this diagnosis of this ridge that we have, this blocking high ridge that's just over here. You can see it kind of starting to form just right above Idaho and over in that area. That's the ridge that we see, and running with it, these little purple cells that we see, those are ridge runners. And that's where, when on top of the ridge, we see a lot more storms, and that's where there's a lot more lifting happening, causing us and those people up to the north of us to see those storms during the summer. So it's much needed for them because it has been hot, but not really good for us because we've got that compressional warming under this high pressure, and it's only causing us to see really hot temperatures. Look at this temperature trend so you can see what I mean. I'm not just telling you stories over here. I mean, it's getting hot. Look at those triple digits throughout this week, and then we get slight relief Friday and Saturday, and then again we start to see this ridge build back up and the pattern starts to amplify. So every time I'm mentioning the pattern's amplifying, that just means that our ridge is just getting bigger and bigger and expanding more and more. And when we're under the ridge, well, we get some high temperatures as well. So here's some reminders just so you can keep that in mind as we're going into this next hot week, because heat illness, we've seen it all over the news, and the last thing we want is for our loved ones to be affected by heat illnesses if we're not taking the proper precautions. So let's make sure we're drinking that water. It says adults need just about 8 bottles of water a day. If you don't want to continuously carry a plastic water bottle, well, maybe buy a reusable water bottle and just carry that with you so you can stay hydrated throughout the day. Drink it before you have to go out, especially if you're an outside worker. It's important to stay hydrated because the last thing you need is to be depleted with the sun beating down on you and you don't have any water. So make sure you're drinking that water. Stay in the shade as much as possible. Peak heating is just around 4:30. So if you can be out or back inside by that time, so you're not around the heat and just letting the sun beat down on you, well, that would be better. Wear that light clothing so it reflects the sun rays, and don't leave your pets and children in the car because it gets even hotter in there when they're encapsulated in that heat than it is outside. So make sure we're keeping our pets and our children safe. I wanted to also remind you of the burn bans that are in effect. Shelby County was just added to the burn ban counties list. So make sure you're limiting that exposure outside and doing any outside burning. They put burn bans in risk or put them in effect because of the elevated risk of wildfires and also poor air quality. So just keep that in mind. And something else you need to keep in mind is the tropics right now. Now, I know you see there's a less than 20% chance of development, but we do have 2 disturbances that are out there in the tropics right now. just to keep in mind, if you're going on vacation, maybe you're going to see family because it's the summer, you're trying to take the kids to the beach, well, we've got those two disturbances out there. And there are less than 20% chance of development, and that's because of probably the Saharan dust. So we've got very, very high water temperatures, but when you add dry air to the mix, it suppresses that development for tropical development as well. So thanks to this Saharan dust that's moving our way, you can see it all the way kind of in the Atlantic, well, then we're gonna see the tropics have that less than 20% chance of development. But then, this is the last wave that we're really seeing for now. There probably is another wave that's on its way, but for right now, not seeing another one, and that's why we're starting to see some signs on our models that there may be a chance for another tropical wave to move through. So keep your eye on that and make sure you're watching the news, especially if you have any upcoming trips in the next couple of weeks. But here's some Saharan dust facts. Fine particles are lofted in the air in dry heat areas, and it's most often occurs in summer, like I'm telling you right now. This is when it's typically occurring, and it suppresses tropical development, which I just expressed to you is why we're seeing that less than 20% chance for those two systems. And this is a fact that I didn't even know. Thanks to Chief Meteorologist Brett, I was able to learn something new today, but it supports biodiversity of the Atlantic Ocean. And Amazon rainforest transporting unique nutrients. Something new to learn, but hey, I guess we're all working together. What does the Lion King say? The circle of life? I don't know. Maybe that's just something a part of it, but there's that Saharan dust moving right into the Texas area, which we're gonna have some vibrant sunrises and sunsets. And then the next couple of days, I know that Tyler's Farmers Market is going on in the morning. Well, I wanted to show you what the conditions will be like, because just because it's hot doesn't mean we don't have some breeze that'll help us with that. So the wind gusts will be really nice, up in the teens for sure, and you'll feel it, but it is a warm wind, so it won't help us too much, but give us some time to breathe as we're in the sun. For the Tuesday morning temperatures, we're just gonna stay just around this lower 70s temperatures, and that's nice to see because the last couple of weeks, we've had these upper 70s temperatures. It's been really humid and muggy when we first go outside, but nice to see some relief where we can. I know we have a bunch of heat related to that. For your high temperatures tomorrow, it's just gonna be kicking up even more. I'm sorry to say it, but make sure you are prepared, because we're only gonna see triple digits more and more as we go throughout the week. So we'll start just around that triple digit range, maybe even upper 90s, and then we're gonna keep going on from there. Let's wrap it all up with that 10-day forecast. I know you see it, all those triple digits just coming towards us, but we do get some slight relief on Friday, Saturday, and that will be just about it. Maybe a chance for some rain later on into next week, but overall, we're just gonna see a very hot week and some nice conditions, clear skies. So overall, thank you for joining us for CBS 19 Plus, and we hope to see you back tomorrow.